Hi, so we are going to discuss box model in this video. So as you can see, I've created a fresh one because this is going to be a little bit of an important topic. So I'm going to create a comment saying box model, right? Now, if you can see, there is a div here that I've called box, right? So what happens if I say dot box and I, let's say, give it a width, say 500 px, sorry, width 500 px, height 200 px, and just to see it, I'll give it a background color, let's say aqua, right? Now I'm going to go to my index HTML. As you can see, this is my box content, it shows, right? Now if I go to Excalibur, I'll show you a representation of this. So if you look at this box, right, our content is placed here, which is, this is my box, right? Now if I give it a padding, what will that do, right? Let's try that. Let's say dot padding, sorry, let's say padding, and I'll go only give it a padding top right now, and I'll say 10 px. For visualization, let's create 30 px, right? Now if I go here, sorry, uh, yeah, if I go here, so you can see there's a padding now, right? So what happens is, if I check this, so this content is padded by 30 px on the top. You can give a, so for instance, let's just draw it. So this is 30, all right. Stroke width, this is 30, right? You can also give something on the left. We can say padding left, let's say 50 px, right? And if I save it, I go here. So yeah, this box gets a padding left now. Can I give this a border? I can. I will give it a 5 px border of solid, and I want a blue color, right? So now it gets a border. Now between the border, so this is the border, right? Between the border and this is called a margin. So basically it's a white space that you can give to your entire box, right? So let's say how to visualize it. We'll give it a margin, say margin top 50 px, margin on the left 70 px, right? So now if I go here, so as you can see, there's a space here, right? Can we visualize it? As you can see, there's a box container div containing the box, so I'll give it box container, and we are going to give it a border. All right, we are going to say 5 px solid red, right? So now you can see a border, right? But why is this space coming? That's because of the margin top that we had here, right? Can you add a let's give it a background color as well, background color orange, right? Right. Can I give it a height and a width? Yeah, I can. Let's say I give it a width of 1000 px, height of 700 px, right? So now I have a height, right? Can I add a padding to this? padding left is equal to 100 px, right? So what do you think the space is here between this blue border and this red border? If your guess is 100 px, that will be wrong. Why? Because this blue box has a margin as well, right? So we had a margin left of 70 px, 70, and then a padding left of 100, so 100. So total space is 170, and I can prove it to you. So if you go to inspect, right, and now I'll just select box. So in the box element, if I see here, so if I see here, there's a 70 space here. You might see as a slightly white shade. And if I go to box container and I select padding, you will see padding of 100. So 100 plus 70, 170 pixels, right? So that's the idea of a box model. So if I go back to my Excalibur, right? So this is the content box, this green highlighted one. Then there is a shading which gives a padding. You can give it your content can have some padding, which is between your border and the content. And after the border, anything beyond the border, you can give a margin. If you want a space between your border and outside area, you call it a margin, right? So what I would suggest is you can go to a VS Code and play around with it, because I feel it kind of tells you how to place your content around everything. So it's very important that you know the box model, right? At least I feel this gives a lot more clarity about how to place content and what is the spacing between them, right? So see you in the next video. In the next video, I'm going to discuss units. So something like px. Why are we using px here, or are there any other ways to visualize these things, right? So I think there are other units like em, rem, percentage, and all of that. So we'll discuss that in the next video.